Hello again, Nerd Squad. I'm your host Amanda McKnight and welcome to another top 10 list. Today we are going to be counting down the top 10 characters that Captain Marvel respects. Some of these characters on the list also happen to be love interests of our Masked Crusader, which got me wondering, who is your favorite Captain Marvel ship? Let me know in the comments below. I feel like we may have a common favorite. And if you are feeling the love today, remember to spread it by sharing and tapping that like. Let's get counting. Number 10. Rogue. Hold on, I know what you're about to say. Captain Marvel hates Rogue, can't stand her. Amanda, what about their long-standing feud? And you're right. The two of them definitely have had a history of hatred back and forth for as long as at least Rogue has existed in the comics. However, more recently, Carol saved Rogue and the two have seemingly decided to kiss and make up. Well, I mean, not literally kiss. As far as Rogue goes, we all know how counterproductive that would be. Granted, this makeup occurs before the events of Avengers vs. X-Men, when Rogue tries to drain Carol's powers again and royally pisses her off. However, the confession Carol makes to Rogue still stands. After Rogue thanks Carol for saving her and offers to Carol, "You could have killed me or left me for dead," to which Carol responds, "I am you, sugar. A part of me will always be." She also offers that although she can't forget their past, that she can forgive, and that Rogue has proven to be a hero, and is owed that. And if that isn't a sign of respect, I don't know what is. Number 9. Wonder Man. An interesting character to be sure, Wonder Man has also had a turbulent story, similar to that of Rogue. In the 1960s Avengers comics, he was originally written as a misguided man who turns villain simply because he feels he has no other choice. After receiving his powers from an experiment, he is threatened into working against the Avengers. After working to earn their trust, he finds himself unable to betray them. Instead, he decides he would rather die than do so. After being suspected dead but later resurrected from what was actually a power metamorphosis induced coma, he ends up joining the Avengers for good and for most of his history ends up helping the Avengers. He is also one of the first to join S.H.I.E.L.'s Superhuman Registration Act, and it is through his work here that he gains the respect and later the love of Carol Danvers, who also firmly believes and fights for the SRA. The two serve together on the Avengers until Dark Avengers comes about, setting them both down separate paths. Wonder Man's path involving his creation of the Revengers, whose goal it is to put an end to the Avengers, as he later feels that the Avengers really failed the world. Number 8. Star-Lord. Although they haven't crossed paths many times in the comics, Star-Lord and Captain Marvel have always seemed to be on friendly terms. Both cosmic superheroes have been there when the other needed them. Star-Lord's team comes to Captain Marvel's rescue when her spaceship is being attacked in Volume 8 of the Captain Marvel series from 2014, and Star-Lord is also there to support her in Civil War II, when she and Tony Stark duke it out. Star-Lord has always shown unwavering loyalty and been a good friend to Captain Marvel, and it is for this reason that she respects him. Number 7. Charles Xavier. When Rogue originally zapped Carol's memories and abilities and left her a shell of her former self, Carol was able to rely on Charles Xavier to help restore what she had lost. She was taken in by the mutants and the professor did his best to restore her memories. He was able to retrieve most of them, though he could not help her retrieve her emotional connection to these memories. During this time, Carol was known as Binary, and she actually took refuge with the X-Men until Rogue ended up at Xavier's school, which led to Carol feeling betrayed and leaving. Still, despite the fact that she did not side with the X-Men in the Avengers vs. X-Men comics, she has often fought alongside Xavier's X-Men and does often seem to think of the X-Men as friends and heroes. Number 6. Jessica Jones. The two have been friends for a long time and represent two different sides of the same coin. Both are superheroes, both are super strong, powerful women, but both of them approach being a superhero in a different way. This is especially highlighted in the comic series Elias by Max Comics, where the way Jessica Jones is presented is much more similar to her MCU Netflix counterpart. Jessica is a mess of a superhero who struggles and never seems to feel like she belongs, and doesn't always play by the rules, whereas Carol Danvers is militaristic, strict, and efficient. One is considered to be more successful than the other, and yet the two complement each other. They both are able to provide one another with different perspectives while sharing in a lot of similar experiences. They even set each other up on dates, although I'm skeptical as to if many of those go well. Number 5. Ulysses Cain. The Civil War II comic book series basically happened because of the interactions between Captain Marvel and Ulysses Cain. Ulysses Cain becomes an Inhuman after being exposed to Terrigen mists, which were released by Black Bolt, and as such was granted the ability to see into the future. His visions allowed him to predict catastrophic events. After being taken in by the royal Inhuman family, he was trained by Inhumans and eventually gained much control over his powers. He is able to project his visions into other beings' minds, and using energy tendrils, even send visions to others from far, far away. Though he attempted to use his powers for good, and Captain Marvel respected and believed in Ulysses and his visions, he ultimately created a major divide between Captain Marvel and Iron Man. Iron Man believed the visions were not infallible and could not be trusted, in stark contrast with Carol's beliefs. Number 4. Spider-Man. Captain Marvel and Spidey have served on the Avengers together for quite a while, and though some would consider Carol to be much more serious than Peter and would probably think they are less likely to see eye to eye, those people would be wrong. In fact, Captain Marvel and Spider-Man get along great. Carol even pined after him for a while, and it has been confirmed that they did in fact date, though we have yet to know fully how or when it ended or if it has fully ended. Considering that the two are constantly saving each other, it does not surprise me that they share mutual respect and even love between them. Spider-Man, after much deliberation, even sides with Captain Marvel in Civil War II. Number 3. Spider-Woman. Ever since Spider-Woman aka Jessica Drew swooped in and saved Carol, who at the time was thought to be a Jane Doe, from her death by pulling her out from under the Brooklyn Bridge, the two have been best friends. They often fight alongside each other, and even during the events of Civil War I, when they are on opposing sides, Carol still expresses a regard for Jessica's safety and attempts to defend her. No matter how many fights Carol and Jessica get in between each other, or how big those fights get, they always find a way to resolve their issues and move forward. The best thing about these two is in fact how well they often get along, and all the amazing and often super cute dialogue that comes with that. Number 2, you may have all been waiting for it, War Machine. While I would also like to make an argument that Captain Marvel respects Iron Man as well, it would be kind of hard in light of the events of Civil War II, which culminated in Captain Marvel punching Iron Man into like a space coma. Instead, I decided to touch on a very close friend of Iron Man's and of Carol's, War Machine. Rhodey has been a loyal friend and romantic partner to Carol Danvers, and could be argued as being the most successful relationship that Captain Marvel has ever had. Her respect for him definitely grows even deeper out of his respect for her. In Volume 8 of Captain Marvel from 2014, when she tells Rhodey she needs some time to explore space and find herself, in fact a whole year off, he clarifies that if that's what she really wants, then she's gotta go. The two have fought alongside each other many times, and Rhodey even met his demise fighting on Captain Marvel's side in Civil War II. If there is anyone Carol trusts and respects, War Machine is right up there. Number 1. Mar-Vell, aka original Captain Marvel. Who could Carol respect more than the man she adopted the name of? Captain Mar-Vell. It was due to Mar-Vell's presence in the Golden Era that Carol received her powers, and even though we have also now learned that Carol's half-Kree background is also partly responsible for that, it doesn't mean that she doesn't respect Captain Mar-Vell any less. Mar-Vell to Carol will always be someone who stood up for what was right, who embodied to her what she strived to be in a hero. It was in his honor and memory that she finally adopted his name after the events of Avengers vs. X-Men. Not only does Captain Marvel aka Carol Danvers embody Mar-Vell's power and Kree heritage, wearing the colors of an honored Kree warrior, but she also aims to embody his spirit as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below if there is anyone that you think should have made my cut. If you love movies, nerd or otherwise, do I have good news for you. You can also head on over and subscribe to our newest channel, Top 10 Beyond the Screen, where we count down all things film. Thanks for watching. I'm your host Amanda McKnight, reminding you to stay nerdy, YouTube.